Welcome to the presentation of Bits of Proof, which is a company I founded in March this year. Bits of Proof is a technology company that develops tools for enterprises. And I'd like to first mention what actually the enterprise promises. Why do enterprises eventually want to use Bitcoin at all? Well, most importantly, they get a global settlement network free of charge. This is something entirely new concept for them, and most of them did not yet recognize that if they get it, that's something, a huge asset that they get for free. They get freedom of transactions, they have contractual enforcement by the protocol, and they have new options, transparency and external audit that could create trust. It could be very important for startups or for businesses that operate in areas where they have to create trust. And it certainly will unlock new business models. It is coming, however, on quite a high price because it imposes new challenges that the IT is not necessarily prepared to handle. The peer-to-peer consensus is an unknown challenge to most of the IT teams, and they don't know probably in a normal enterprise what a network split means, what a network isolation means. The cache-like behavior of Bitcoin is also a significant problem since there are no safety nets. So in a corporation, people are used to a protocol where they have like 4 eyes principle to move money. It's not in the box of Bitcoin. So the cache-like behavior is also a problem. Then there are big misconceptions in the enterprise regarding Bitcoin. There is a fallacy of the money laundering that it would be useful for that I mentioned before. I'd add a bit more to that because yesterday people said probably did not understand what I meant. Yes, a single transaction of Bitcoin is probably anonymous, but a continuous operation is very, very easy to uncover. A continuous operation leaves a long track of evidence, and in a hindsight, by collecting indirect information, metadata, which is on the blockchain basically there for eternity, plus information that someone collect, like observing the network, altogether definitely is a bad idea to use Bitcoin for money laundering. It is also the result of this fact is that eavesdropping on finances is also possible. Like even if you heard Tony de Galiti, how fantastic it is what he is doing, concentrating all the payment flows to one network is a bad idea too, because your adversaries or your competition can eavesdrop your financials. Then there is a regulatory uncertainty. This is currently the biggest one, but I don't want to touch this because we had it too much in this conference. Now, Bits of Proof is developing enterprise solutions, and we think that there are challenges. Basically, technology creates disruptions, so the answers have to come also from technology. And Satoshi could basically create this one and enjoy the show that is coming after that, and now we have to clean up the mess that we actually, this is my opinion, we have to work very hard and to collect our reward. Bits of Proof is determined to be a leader in filling these gaps and creating solutions. Our base technology, our foundation is a server, which is we use in a production environment by connecting to Satoshi client as a border router, and then we use this server to create an index blockchain and offer an API on a message bus. And all the applications that we develop are connecting to this API. These applications are wallets, exchanges, and payment processors, and etc. The support model for this server, this base infrastructure, is very simple. This is open source, Apache 2.0, and you can have it hosted or in your data center, and the standard and real-time support costs you 1 or 2 Bitcoin a month. We also eat what we cook, so it's not like I'm putting something onto GitHub and tell you that it's fine stuff, but we do develop software that is using it. First of all, Bits of Proof is engaged in custom projects. We are developing several exchanges with white label. I cannot tell you the names. Multi-signature auditable wallets. and they have all products which I would like to show you now in detail, a mobile wallet, and the web shop, and the payment processor. This is an example of what we built for a customer. This customer is a fund manager, and he wants to have a very secure storage of his Bitcoin. And here's the setup of, there is a fund administrator, there's a fund manager, and the funds needs to be stored in a digital vault, and basically only the fund manager and the administrator together can move the funds, or the customer and the administrator together can move the funds in this scenario. And what we developed for him is basically we use the BIF32 key generation. So we have we took a grandmaster seed, which is generated as a random seed. This is basically the root of the key hierarchy, that after we created it, it is destroyed and decomposed into shared secrets using the Shania's algorithm of shared secrets, and then destroyed. And these shared secrets are then distributed, stored in some safes. The next hierarchy level is there's a billing master key, which is used by our payment processor to create addresses that the customer can use to pay in. And there is this operator's master key, which is the parent of the fund managers and the administrator's key, and the customer keys. And there is a vault master, which is the parent of the customer keys. You see on the coloring that the storage of them is different. Some of this data is destroyed, some of this data is stored secured in a hardware wallet, and some of this is stored publicly online. Like the public keys of the customers are stored online, so an audit is possible of the customer holdings. Then the Bebop wallet. This is a wallet you can download on Google Store. Just look for it for Bits of Proof and Bebop. This is a very simple wallet that is aimed to serve people who are not familiar with Bitcoin as much, like the waiter outside that would want to accept it. You can switch it to use local currency or Bitcoin. We source the exchange rates from our partners. So for example, the Israeli shekel is coming from bits of gold, the euro rate is coming from its lit stamp, and so on. The first page, the wallet is working the way that you can swipe left or right, so you see these two pictures over there. The first one with Bebop is basically a simple wallet to pay. You can pay scanning a QR code. You can use the sweep button to sweep in physical Bitcoin, a paper wallet. You can use the history to see the transaction history. If you switch to the Bob Shop page, then you get a full payment processor. So you can create a bill the similar way that you heard before. You can enter the billing amount in euros or in Bitcoin as you want. If you create this bill, it shows a QR code which can be scanned by another wallet. Then you directly get the right address and payment amount filled in. And on the third screen, you see how the history looks like for these payment requests. So you basically can, as a waiter, you can review what kind of request you made, whether the customer paid. So you don't have to basically, as if you would use a regular wallet, figure out you had 275 millibitcoins before, now you paid a beer for 22, so it should be how much. Instead of that, you see these are the payments requests you built, this is what you got, and how they were confirmed. This is available free of charge. It is financed by a cut of 0.1% on the scanning of a physical Bitcoin, and a standard rate of 0.8 for the base. Then we have this solution, we propose this solution for the brick and mortar merchants. They have a very nice video. It's not quite ready yet, unfortunately, for the conference. These are the two heroes of the video, Emily and the geek who is buying the stuff. You will see this on our page bobshop@bitsofproof.com, which is interesting because if you have several wallets, jump out of a bit of the if you have several wallets, several Bebop wallets working in your shop, in your restaurant,
You can register them in that site, so you see in aggregation all the requests that they were placing and the payment status. Now, you can also use the payment option in a web shop. This is a Satoshi Files web shop, which you can register yourself and sell your stuff yourself also. But it's actually a demonstration of our technology. It's a WooCommerce web shop with a plugin using a Bob shop. And the interesting feature of it is that the payments requests that you create there, the bills you create there, are also appearing on the same wallet. So you can be a shop operator having a brick and mortar shop and also a web shop, and you get an aggregated picture of your revenues. I would emphasize that this is a big difference to BitPay or to BIPs, that our solution is working with a payment directly from customer to merchant. The wallet, the Bebop wallet, is actually creating a BIP32 master key and sending the BIP32 public key to the server, so the server is able to generate any number of addresses that belong to the mobile. So payments are basically going from customer directly to the mobile of the merchant. Now, you could say, it's nice stuff that you have this. Now, you had a very, very long talk here before from Tony Gallippi. Tony Gallippi is making a PayPal out of Bitcoin. If you want to do that, go with that. I have an alternate model. I tell you, this is a difficult stuff to handle Bitcoin, but it's not the stuff that only Tony Gallippi could do. I give you the tools. It is available in white label. Set up your payment processor. It's not a big issue. So you can either have it running by bits of proof, you can buy it as a white label solution, you can brand it, and I'm separating the exchange, separating the wallet, separating all these single functions, and you could put together your own solution locally. Like I do with my colleague from Bits of Code in Israel. He has a pilot with 250 restaurants that will be using this Bebop wallet. It will be processed by the Bob shop, and he will be providing the exchange rate for the shaker. So this is, I think, the right way to go forward to decentralize the payment processing instead of making basically a second PayPal out of Bitcoin. That's it.
Hi, sorry. I have two questions. The first one is, do you provide with the ability to convert Bitcoin payments into local currency of the merchant? And the second question is, if you provide integration with accounting systems like the QuickBooks that Tony mentioned earlier. Thanks.
Well, for the first, no, I'm not doing a conversion myself. I will be probably doing it in Hungary. I will be doing a payment processor locally. But I'm more into cooperation with existing exchanges or guys who would want to do it. So I'm developing a technology that you can do it yourself. I'm willing to add the feeds if you have it, like as I incorporated the Shaker feed. And you can, as I said, you can have the solution with white label, brand it on your exchange, brand it on your services. The second question was? Integration with accounting. Suddenly, Tony has a bit of a earlier start, so my solution is not yet integrated with QuickBook, but is already available in aggregation. So if you register on the bobshop.bitsofproof.com site, you register a wallet, then you get an aggregation of the current payment request and all the payments, which can be downloaded in an Excel format. That's the only function I have at the moment. But it will be probably extended. Yeah?
Yeah, my question is regarding the payment request protocol that was now discussed. Is that something, what is your opinion on it, and is that something that your software will be supporting?
I will be supporting it as soon as it's final. The advantage of the payment protocol is the security of the address you're paying to. This is certainly, again, something that you would want to have as a part of your branding. Do you want all payments secured by BitPay? Yeah.
have not understood the schema you showed with the exchange.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate on that? Especially,
What's
I would like to understand what the key at the upper level, what's the relationship between the key at the upper level and at the lower levels.
This
yes,
one?
Yes. What's the difference? What's the you use?
Well, the deterministic hierarchical key generation means that you take a piece of entropy, which is just a big random number, and then you generate keys out of it. The reason we are doing it this way, because this solves for a backup problem. Basically, if you have a vault, there are two distinct dangers for a vault. One is basically the loss, the simple loss, that you lose the keys. And the other one is the security that somebody is taking the money that shouldn't be happening. Now, by using the deterministic key generation, you basically address the question of the loss. Since you have an entropy that you collected, you decompose it and store it in several wallets as a shared secret. So whatever happens to your actual vault that you're using at your enterprise side, you can recreate that original seed, and from this original seed you can recreate any of the keys that were below. But since this seed has a very high power, since it is the key for everything, it makes sense to work the way we do, that you create the seed, you decompose it, you store it in distinct vaults and destroy it. Because you'd rather create a second layer of hierarchy, which is assigned to the particular use. That is assigned, one is assigned to the payment processor, you assign one to the individuals who are doing these joint signatures, and you assign another one for the customers, for the root customers, and generate the customer keys depending on that. If you look at the bit 32 standard of bit, that's explained in more detail how this generation is happening. Yes?
Tamas, you have mentioned yesterday that you're using color coins. Is this concept part of bits of proof?
Bits of proof added some functions to the service to support color coins. This is something that I worked on, but at the moment I'm working on this kind of projects. So it did not advance since the San Jose conference, to be honest. It is an option that if there would be the right project to use to dig a little bit further. The color coin is a concept still. There is, I do not yet see any working use of it. It's very promising, and if I find the right project, I will use it. That is one.
Tamas, you showed a number of slides at the beginning for enterprise solutions. What are the key things that enterprises look for? Most Bitcoin conversations around consumer use and so on. What do we need to build into Bitcoin offerings to be attractive to enterprises? For example, are there ISO standards? Are there certain standards for APIs? What technologies do they want to see to be able to use Bitcoin offerings in enterprises?
If you focus on I think the previous talk quite well covered what the business requirements are for enterprises. On the technology side, enterprises need connectivity, open connectivity standards in general. Most of the enterprises are using Java environment, and that's why I'm using that. Java message bus that is supported by the server is a well-known and widely used composition of technologies. I could not name you particular standards because this is a new area, so nothing is really standardized. I would just rather say that in contrast to what Bitcoin is, which is the reference implementation of Bitcoin is basically a monolithic code base doing everything and having a very poor interface. This is exactly the opposite as what enterprises need. They would need a modular system. in my opinion, this reference client should not be developed further, adding payment protocols, should not be adding multi-signature wallets and so on. Not because we don't need this stuff, we need this stuff, but we do not need it in that code base. That code base is basically the peer-to-peer payment, the peer-to-peer consensus protocol. This is a very, very fragile, very important piece. That is basically the backbone of the network. We should rather focus our efforts to stabilize and secure it against DOS attacks and against any kind of splits. And that the wallet and the payment processing and all this stuff should be thrown out of Satoshi client and should be put into another modules which give a variety of choices and gives you the usability that you need. I'm totally opposed to the notion that basically we are asking for like a core development team that creates us all this stuff in this single code base. That is definitely not the way to go forward if you're talking about an enterprise. I don't see Bitcoin coming into the enterprise while we are asking a bunch of geeks somewhere in a forum to put something into it.